From homeless to billionaire. Emily Carter's luxury fashion revolution. Trump approved. Beneath the glittering chandeliers of Beverly Hills, a battle for the soul of luxury begins. Emily Carter, a tech mogul with a secret past, walks into Éclat de Luxe, not to shop, but to shatter its golden cages. With a single stock certificate, she strips power from a sneering manager, ignites a revolution, and collides with an unlikely ally, Donald Trump. But this is no fairy tale. It's a war between old money and new ideals, where silk gowns clash with street-smart grit. Subscribe now because what happens next will redefine what true luxury means. And you won't want to miss a single scandalous twist. The sun blazed over Beverly Hills, casting a golden glow on the pristine storefront of Éclat de Luxe. Emily Carter adjusted her sunglasses, her fingers brushing the strap of her canvas tote bag. Inside, the air was cool, scented with jasmine and privilege. Crystal chandeliers dripped from the ceiling, and mannequins draped in silk stood like aristocrats at a ball. But Emily's focus was on the woman approaching her. A vision in a tailored navy suit, lips curled into a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Welcome to Éclat de Luxe," Victoria purred, her gaze flicking dismissively over Emily's faded band t-shirt and jeans. "I'm Victoria, the manager. How may I assist you today?" Emily tilted her head, a faint smile playing on her lips. "I'd like to see the new collection." Victoria's perfectly manicured nails tapped a display case. "Of course. Let me show you our accessible line. Perfect for casual elegance." She gestured to a rack of pastel sundresses, their price tags discreetly hidden. Emily's eyes narrowed. Accessible. The word dripped with condescension. She stepped forward, her voice soft but deliberate. "Actually, I'm interested in the exclusive pieces. The ones in the window." Victoria's smile tightened. "Ah, those are reserved for our VIP clients. But don't worry. I'm sure we can find something more suitable." She plucked a floral sundress from the rack, its fabric thin enough to see through. $800. A steal, don't you think? Emily took the dress, her fingers grazing Victoria's. "Lovely. I'll try this." "And the black gown in the window." Victoria's laugh was a silver dagger. "The gown is $500,000, darling. It's couture. Hand-stitched. Perfect. I'll take both." The manager's composure cracked. "I'm sorry, but we require verification for high-end purchases. A driver's license, perhaps? Or a reference from another client." Emily's smile widened. "Or a stock certificate?" She pulled a folded document from her bag. "Éclat de Luxe, 51% ownership, signed Emily Carter." "I think this will do." Victoria paled. "Why, you're the new owner?" "Yes. And you've just insulted every client who doesn't wear Chanel to brunch." Emily handed the sundress back. "Cancel the VIP reservations for next week. We're reopening this floor to the public. Starting now." As Victoria sputtered, a commotion erupted at the entrance. A man in a tailored suit strode in, his presence commanding. Donald Trump in flesh and Armani clapped slowly. "Bravo, Emily. Always keep your enemies closer. And your store manager's honest." Victoria's knees buckled. Olivia, a junior assistant hiding behind a display, stifled a gasp. Emily's eyes met Trump's. "I didn't expect you until tomorrow." He waved a hand. "When I heard my favorite tech mogul was playing dress-up, I had to see it." His gaze cut to Victoria. "You, front row at my rally last week. Cheering for the right kind of billionaire, weren't you?" Victoria's face flushed crimson. "Sir, save it. Emily, fire her. Now." Emily shook her head. "No. She's staying. But she'll personally train every new hire on customer service. Starting with the janitorial staff." Trump grinned. "Even better. Humiliation is the best teacher." As Olivia stepped forward, her voice trembling. "I quit. I can't work here anymore." The room froze. Emily turned to her, intrigued. "Why?" "Because this," Olivia gestured to Victoria, to the gowns, to the gilded mirrors, "isn't fashion. It's a cage. And I'd rather clean toilets than help build it." Trump's eyes lit up. "Kid, you're hired. My tower. Double the pay. Start Monday." Emily laughed, the sound echoing through the store like a storm warning. Looks like my little experiment just got interesting. The aftermath of Emily's revelation hung in the air like smoke. Victoria stood frozen, her perfectly curated facade crumbling. Olivia's abrupt resignation echoed through the store, punctuated by the click of her heels against the marble floor. Donald Trump, now leaning against a display of diamond-encrusted clutches, smirked. "So, Victoria," he drawled, "you think V means very insulting person?" Victoria's hands trembled as she clutched the $500,000 gown Emily had discarded. I was following orders. The previous owner wanted to refine the clientele." Emily crossed her arms, her voice icy. "Refine? Or exclude? This store isn't a country club. It's a business." She nodded to a group of tourists peering through the window, their cameras pressed to the glass. "Let them in. Now." Victoria's lips parted in horror. "But they're potential customers?" Emily finished. "Exactly. You'll greet them personally. And while you're at it, cancel the VIP lounge renovation. Turn it into a community space. Free fashion workshops. Open casting calls for local designers." Trump chuckled. "Brutal. I like it." Olivia paced the sidewalk, her phone buzzing relentlessly. A text from an unknown number flashed. "Olivia, meet me at the Starbucks across the street." Her breath hitched. "Donald Trump?" She hesitated, then crossed the boulevard, her mind racing. Inside the cafe, Trump sat at a corner table, a latte steaming beside his phone. "You've got guts, kid," he said without looking up. "Quitting like that. Most people grovel." Olivia sank into the chair opposite him. "I couldn't stay. Not after. After watching that Viper Victoria treat you like dirt?" "Smart move." He slid a business card across the table. "The Trump Organization, embossed in gold. You're hired. Double your old salary. And a signing bonus," he added, "if you agree to train Victoria on humility." Olivia's eyes widened. "You want me to what?" "Teach her how to serve people without looking down her nose. Consider it revenge." He winked. "Emily's idea. She thinks Victoria's salvageable. I think she's a lost cause." "But," he shrugged, "the customer's always right." Emily stood in the now crowded store, watching as Victoria, pale and trembling, escorted a retired teacher from Ohio to the couture section. "This jacket," the woman marveled. "It's Chanel." Victoria forced a smile. "Yes, and it would look stunning with your eyes." Emily turned to Trump. "You didn't have to humiliate her." "Humiliate?" He snorted. "I'm saving her. You think she'd learn any other way?" He gestured to a group of teenagers ogling a rack of discounted bags. "Look at them. They're not rich. Yet. But in 10 years, one of those kids could buy this store. You're not just selling dresses, Emily. You're building an empire." Olivia sat in Trump's penthouse office, staring at the contract he'd given her. "Why me?" she blurted. "I'm nobody." "You're the opposite of nobody," Trump replied, pouring scotch into a crystal tumbler. "You stood up to power. That's rare. And," he leaned forward, "Emily trusts you. Which means I do too." Downstairs, Emily stood on the balcony of her Beverly Hills mansion, the city lights twinkling like scattered diamonds. Her phone buzzed, a text from Olivia. "I took the job. Thank you." She smiled. The real battle was just beginning. Emily stepped into the store, the scent of fresh paint and pine lingering in the air. The design team was installing a new sign. "Éclat de Luxe, where fashion knows no borders." Victoria, now in a simple staff uniform, stood with a group of teenage customers, guiding them through fabric choices for custom jackets. "She's adapting quickly," Olivia remarked, joining Emily. Since being hired by Trump, she'd returned to the store as a consultant, her sleek black blazer replacing the old apron. Emily smirked. "Fear fuels creativity." The clatter of heels interrupted them. A woman in a crimson suit, draped in heavy pearls, stormed in. "I'm Clarissa Vander Woodson," she declared. "And I demand to speak to whoever is responsible for this disaster." Clarissa slammed her teacup, splashing liquid across the table. "I invested in Éclat de Luxe to make it a symbol of elitism, not a flea market." She gestured wildly at the window, where students posed for photos with mannequins. Emily nodded. tapping a revenue report showing a 200% surge. You see, your elite are buying dresses for charity galas. My new customers, she nodded outside, are bulk ordering to launch their own brands. You dare tarnish my husband's legacy? Clarissa hissed. Legacy? Emily's voice turned icy. You call refusing black customers and banning poor students a legacy? Did your husband build this store to segregate? Clarissa paled. I didn't know he did that. Then learn to adapt, Trump interjected, entering the room with his phone glued to his ear. Or I'll buy your shares. Right. Now. Victoria stood trembling before a tweed fabric, her scissors hesitating. Again, Olivia ordered, swiping the cloth aside. Emily wants bold, unconventional cuts. You're sewing like it's a Barbie doll dress. I'm not used to this, Victoria admitted, voice cracking. Before I only dressed people like me. Olivia sighed. Change. Or you'll end up a cheaper version of Clarissa. Emily lingered backstage, listening to thunderous applause. The runway blazed with models of diverse races, ages and genders strutting in Italian silk fused with Mexican embroidery. Victoria, now hosting, introduced each piece with shaky but sincere enthusiasm. She's doing well, Trump said, standing beside Emily. But Clarissa won't back down. Emily smiled. I know. But she won't sue me. Not when I have proof she embezzled her husband's charity funds. Trump roared with laughter. You learn fast, Emily. Éclat de Luxe thrived in chaos. The once sterile white floors now bore splatters of paint from children's art classes. Mannequins modeled designs by formerly incarcerated tailors and Afghan refugee seamstresses. Victoria, now stripped of her managerial title, spent mornings teaching retirees how to deconstruct blazers and evenings scrubbing graffiti from the bathroom mirrors, courtesy of a local street artist collective Emily had invited. You missed a spot, Olivia said, leaning against the restroom doorframe. She tossed Victoria a sponge. Again. Victoria glared but knelt silently, her $800 silk blouse, now stained with bleach, clinging to her back. Why are you torturing me? Because Emily's mercy terrifies me more than your hatred, Olivia replied. She sees something in you. I'm just curious. Emily sat across from Trump, her laptop open to Éclat's new mission statement. You're softening, he said, swirling scotch in his glass. Free workshops? Charity lines? Where's the killer instinct? Killing isn't the only way to win, Emily countered. Sometimes you let your enemies become your allies. Trump snorted. Allies? That's what got your predecessor ousted. Clarissa's still out there plotting. And I'm counting on it. Emily smirked. She'll make a mistake. They always do. The former socialite paced her marble foyer, clutching a burner phone. I need eyes inside Éclat, she hissed to the shadowy figure on the line. That little tech brat is dismantling decades of legacy. Find me dirt on Emily Carter. Anything. The voice chuckled. Even if it's personal? Especially if it's personal. The store transformed into a carnival of rebellion. Models strutted in upcycled gowns made from trash bags and seatbelt straps. Victoria, dressed in a jumpsuit crafted from old cleaning rags, received a standing ovation after sharing her story. I used to think luxury was a birthright. Now I know it's a choice, to see beauty in what the world discards. Olivia watched from the sidelines, her Trump Corporation badge gleaming. She spotted Clarissa lurking near the champagne tower, disguised in a veil. Enjoying the show? Olivia asked, blocking her path. Clarissa sneered. You think this changes anything? Emily's just another idealistic fool. The moment she falters, you'll be there to kick her? Olivia laughed. Newsflash, Clarissa. The world doesn't reward cruelty anymore. Days later, tabloids exploded with headlines. Emily Carter's secret past. From homeless hacker to billionaire. Photos surfaced of a teenage Emily sleeping in subway stations, her laptop clutched to her chest. Victoria confronted her in the stockroom. Is it true? You lived on the streets. Emily didn't look up from her inventory spreadsheet. Yes. And I'll do it again if it means keeping Éclat free. Victoria's voice trembled. Why didn't you tell us? Would it have changed how you treated me? Clarissa burst into Éclat, flanked by lawyers. I have proof you leaked those photos, she screeched at Emily. You're manipulating the narrative. Emily smiled. I leaked them. And you just confirmed it on live TV. She nodded at the news crew behind Clarissa. Thanks for the publicity. Trump appeared, clapping slowly. Checkmate, Clarissa. Admit it, you're jealous. A homeless girl built an empire, and you're still playing dress-up. Clarissa crumpled, her pearls snapping as she fell. Victoria knelt beside her, gathering the beads. I'll help you, she whispered. But only if you apologize to the janitor you fired for being transgender. 6 months later, Éclat de Luxe's annual gala. The store had transformed into a desert oasis. Sand art installations glimmered under neon lights, and mannequins wore gowns woven from recycled plastic and cactus silk. A banner read, Luxury blooms in broken places. Emily stood at the entrance greeting guests, from former gang members turned designers to tech moguls in hoodies. Victoria, now head of community outreach, guided a group of foster teens through a VR fashion design station. Your turn, she said, handing a headset to a shy 12-year-old. Create something only you can see. Olivia leaned against the railing, her Trump Corporation blazer replaced by a tailored jumpsuit from Éclat's new Second Chances line. Clarissa's pearls, salvaged from the mansion floor, now adorned a sculpture titled Fragility. You did this, Trump said, joining her. The loyalty program, the scholarships, even the damn cactus silk. Olivia smirked. Emily's vision. I just executed. Bullshit. You challenged her. That's why you're dangerous. He handed her a key card. Your office. Tomorrow. Emily took the mic, her voice steady. Tonight we celebrate the designers who've turned scars into sequins. She gestured to the janitor turned mentor, now modeling a suit made from his old Halston sketches. And the dreamers who remind us that luxury isn't inherited. It's earned. A screen lit up, showing Clarissa's pearls being auctioned for a Éclat scholarship fund. The crowd cheered as Victoria's face flashed on the screen. Her TED Talk on humility had gone viral. At midnight, Emily found herself alone in the stockroom. A figure emerged, Clarissa, unrecognizable in jeans and a hoodie. I'm leaving L.A., Clarissa said, voice raw. The Hamptons, then. Somewhere without mirrors. Emily nodded. Thank you. Clarissa frowned. For what? For teaching me that even the loneliest deserts can bloom. Olivia entered Trump's office, where a new plaque read, The Olivia Chun Foundation for Disruptive Creativity. You're giving me a foundation? She asked. No, Trump replied. You're running it. And reporting directly to me. Victoria knelt on the floor, teaching a homeless teenager to sew. Start with the seams, she said. They hold everything together. Emily watched from the shadows, a tear slipping down her cheek. The desert had bloomed, and in its sands a new empire had risen. Not of diamonds but of dreams. True luxury is the courage to see beauty in the broken, and the grace to let the world see you unmasked. As Emily's empire rises from the ashes of elitism, one question lingers. Can a world built on shattered pearls and second chances survive Clarissa's vengeance? Stay tuned. The next episode holds a betrayal so explosive, it'll make diamonds crack under pressure.